La vibración de julio viene con un susurro que solo las almas valientes pueden oír. ¿Has sentido que algo invisible te prepara para un giro inesperado, como si una llave? Esta lectura es una activación, un código oculto en tus emociones más profundas, dolores, y si sientes que el aire cambia cuando lees esto, es porque ya has cruzado el umbral. Taurus, have you felt the quiet ache? That soft pressure in your chest that doesn't hurt, but expands, as if something within you is about to break open, not from pain, but from truth. July arrives not as a storm, but as a sacred unfolding, and you, ancient soul dressed in earthy stillness, you are the soil where this divine awakening is about to bloom. You didn't stumble here by chance. The signs have been gathering like dew on the edges of your awareness. The goosebumps without a chill, the dreams that echo too loud to ignore, the sudden tears when no sadness is present. You've been hearing it, haven't you? That whisper that says, something is changing, not around you but inside you. And now, Taurus, the cosmos answers. As the sun continues its journey through Cancer, a sign that stirs your emotional waters, and Venus, your ruling planet, moves into fiery Leo mid-month, the heavens are not asking for permission. They are pulling you inward, so your soul can finally speak without interference. Before we go any further, if something inside you is already resonating with this message, if your chest feels warmer or your breath just slowed, take a moment now. Subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below. Your voice here matters, Taurus. Your energy adds to this sacred circle. Let us know what your soul is feeling right now. The cards have spoken too. I see the Knight of Cups rising first, a figure who doesn't race in with fireworks, but who moves slowly, reverently, with an offering of truth in hand. He represents the message your soul has long carried, but was too afraid to speak aloud. What is it you truly desire, Taurus? Not what's expected of you, not what brings security, but what makes your heart pulse faster with meaning. This month is about soft rebellion, a turning inward that reveals the radiant edges of who you are becoming. The Ten of Pentacles follows, and with it, a wave of recognition from the universe. This is not a sudden reward. It is the harvest of everything you thought went unnoticed. Your endurance, your loyalty, the prayers whispered while no one watched. This card doesn't promise fireworks. It promises something far more sacred, roots, a future that stretches not only for you, but for those you love. You've been building this, Taurus, even when it felt like nothing was moving, even when your hands were tired. Now the results begin to surface, and then there she was, the monarch butterfly, not on a card, but in the space between the words, in the silence of my channeling. She arrived when your name came up. She is not random. She is not decoration. She is confirmation. Taurus, your transformation is not theoretical. It's not a someday. It's now. Just like the monarch, you are emerging from a cocoon built not of silk, but of lessons, heartbreaks, and sacred solitude. Your wings are drying in the light of July, and though it feels unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, this is what freedom tastes like. The Seven of Pentacles appears next, and in it, your essence, patience without passivity, faith without demand. It's the card of the sacred gardener, the one who knows that the fruit does not grow by pulling at the vine. Your season of waiting wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Now the roots run deep, and the stem is breaking the surface. Do not walk away now, not when the bloom is so near. You felt the rumble, Taurus, that vibration in your bones when something is aligning at a level deeper than the mind can explain. That is what this month carries. Not loud victories, but sacred confirmations. You're not imagining things. The subtle shifts, the unexpected encounters, the dreams that feel more like memories. They are messages. They are real. In the shadows of the reading lies the Two of Wands. Vision, perspective. The moment you lift your gaze and realize The life you desire is not as far away as you thought. It's not a fantasy, it's a direction. And you, Taurus, are being gently steered toward it. The fear you felt, the doubt, it's part of the shedding. July is not here to rush you. It's here to remind you that your truth is sacred and safe. Your transformation may not be visible to others yet, but you feel it. Like a heartbeat you've just begun to hear. And when you do, when you finally admit what your soul has been whispering, that's when it all begins. I allow my heart to lead me into the life my soul already remembers. This is your sacred decree, Taurus. Feel its truth. Speak it with conviction. Let the universe hear that you are ready, not someday, but now. There's something sacred about silence, Taurus. Not the silence of absence, but the one that hums with presence, like the hush before the first drop of rain, or the quiet knowing that fills the room just before a truth is spoken. That's the silence surrounding you now. July wraps you in this sacred hush because your soul is preparing for an unveiling. And in this unveiling, love is not just a feeling, it is a frequency, one that has been calling you for longer than you realize. The Two of Cups arrives now, not as a surprise, but as a confirmation of what your heart has suspected. There is someone, a presence, a soul, an energy drawing near. Perhaps they're already within reach. Perhaps they've been orbiting your life quietly, waiting for the right moment. But this card doesn't merely speak of romance. It speaks of resonance. Who in your life makes your nervous system soften? Whose presence feels like truth, even when no words are spoken? This is the essence of the Two of Cups in your reading. A mirror has been placed before you, not to reflect flaws, but to reveal the love you are finally ready to receive. Taurus, you are not the same person who once feared tenderness. You've walked through heartbreak without becoming hardened. You've carried others without expecting reciprocity. And still, you kept your heart intact. Now comes the reward, a connection that doesn't ask you to shrink, to perform, or to prove, only to be. And then, the Queen of Cups emerges. Her gaze is deep, her posture regal, but her essence is tenderness incarnate. She is the part of you that has grown softer, not weaker, wiser, not cynical. She represents the version of yourself that is no longer afraid of being seen, deeply and entirely. And that's important, Taurus, because to be loved truly, you must allow yourself to be known fully. You have given much, and now the universe wants to return it. But can you let yourself be held, Taurus? Can you surrender the belief that you must always be the strong one, the provider, the calm in every storm? This is your lesson now, to receive without guilt, to rest without earning it, to be loved without needing to justify why you deserve it. As Venus, your ruling planet, dances through Leo this month, your heart begins to expand like never before. This transit ignites your desire for joy, creativity, and authentic expression. And for you, Taurus, this means stepping into the light, not to perform, but to shine. You may feel an urge to share your story, to create something that holds your truth, to wear what makes you feel beautiful, to say what you've long hidden, to love with boldness and without apology. This is not ego. This is reclamation. And yet, the reading reminds us, not all energy around you celebrates your blooming. The Five of Wands appears, not to threaten, but to warn. Old conflicts, long-buried misunderstandings, unresolved tensions may stir, but with it comes the Hermit. This duo speaks of sacred discernment. Not every argument is worth your voice. Not every invitation is meant for your spirit. You are learning that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of clarity. Sometimes healing is choosing not to respond. Sometimes power is found in silence. What must you walk away from in order to walk toward yourself? The Hermit offers light, but not noise, wisdom, but not performance. He reminds you that solitude is not loneliness. It's sacred retreat, a place where your soul regroups, regathers, and realigns. And Taurus, within this space, something precious is awakening. The Page of Cups arrives, a symbol of emotional renewal, of innocence reclaimed, of wonder reawakened. There is a new desire gestating within you. Perhaps it's a dream, a creative urge, a gentle longing. It may not yet have words, but it has weight. Pay attention. You are not who you were, and because of that, new desires will arise, not from lack, but from expansion. And then, oh Taurus, the Six of Cups emerges. Nostalgia, memory, the past knocking softly at your door. You may find yourself revisiting old emotions, hearing from someone you thought was gone, or confronting feelings that were never fully resolved. This is not regression, this is integration. What still lingers in your heart? What truth remains unspoken? Who do you become when you stop pretending the past didn't shape you? Let July hold you through this reckoning. The past is not meant to be relived, but to be re-understood. As the full moon approaches later this month, it will illuminate not just your external world, but the landscapes of your inner being. You'll see where you've been holding on too tightly. You'll see what you must now release. And as you do, space will open, a breath will return, a new frequency will begin to hum in your life, one that sounds remarkably like your own soul, finally free. There comes a moment, Taurus, when the soul, tired of carrying what no longer belongs, begins to loosen its grip, not with anger, not with despair, but with a quiet reverence for what once was, and for what must now be set free. This is that moment. In the third movement of your July journey, I see release, not the dramatic kind with tears and breaking glass, but the sacred kind, where your spirit whispers, "Enough, I've carried this far enough." Udiu, the Eight of Cups, rises gently in your reading now, a card of turning inward, not to escape, but to return to the self. It speaks of walking away from situations, habits, or connections that, while once nourishing, have outlived their purpose. What are you still holding on to out of habit, not love? What spaces do you still occupy because it's familiar, not fulfilling? This card is not about abandonment. It's about honoring your growth, recognizing that staying in a place that no longer reflects your truth is a disservice to your becoming. And Taurus, let me tell you, your becoming is sacred. This season, you are not being asked to burn bridges, but to bless the road behind you and walk forward. The Judgment card follows, not as condemnation, but as resurrection. This is a card of karmic awakening, of soul-level decisions, of ancient contracts being reviewed and rewritten. It signals that a chapter, perhaps lifetimes long, is reaching its final page. You may feel this as a spiritual fatigue, a longing for lightness, a deep need to recalibrate. Listen, you're not broken, you're breaking open. If you've made it this far, it's not by accident. Your soul brought you here for a reason. So pause with me just for a breath, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and share in the comments what part of this message is calling your name. This space is your mirror, and your voice is part of the activation. And that cracking sound, it's the shell of your former self falling away. As this inner transformation unfolds, the wheel of fortune appears, and suddenly the ground begins to shift. The unexpected enters, the old patterns dissolve, destiny stirs. But this isn't about chance, it's about alignment. The wheel spins in your favor when your choices echo your soul. When you release the illusion of control and trust that divine timing is not late, it's precise. Where in your life have you been forcing what wants to flow? Where have you been resisting change out of fear that you won't survive the shift? Taurus, hear this. You are not fragile, you are rooted. You don't need certainty to thrive. You need truth. And this month, truth will find you. Perhaps it arrives in a dream, vivid and unforgettable. Perhaps it whispers through synchronicities, repeated numbers, names, symbols. Perhaps it takes the form of someone reappearing just long enough to show you what you've outgrown. The Tower appears, and I know it stirs fear. But let me offer you another lens. The Tower doesn't destroy what's real. It dismantles what was built on falsehood. It is liberation disguised as collapse. If something leaves your life in July, it's because your soul no longer consents to its presence. What was once a shelter is now a cage, and the lightning strike of truth sets you free. Can you trust that what is being removed was never truly yours, only temporarily assigned to your growth? In the aftermath, the star appears. And oh, Taurus, what a balm it brings. This is not just hope, it is healing, celestial, luminous, quiet healing. After all the noise, this card returns you to the essence, your sacred worth, your divine connection, your ability to believe again. The star reminds you that you are not lost, you are being realigned. And it brings with it a question, the kind that must be answered with the body, not the mind. What do you long for now? Not what used to matter, not what others expect, but what makes your chest expand with possibility, your pulse quicken with promise. Because, Taurus, the star tells me, you're ready. Ready to dream again, to love again, to build again. Not from scarcity, from wholeness. This part of your path is not about doing more. It's about being more of who you already are. The stillness, the depth, the devotion. It's all coming back online. You're reconnecting to the sacred codes embedded in your essence since the beginning of your incarnation. And as you do, as you shed and receive, as you close and open, the universe watches in awe. Not because you're achieving, but because you are remembering who you are, why you came, what you carry in your bones. And that, Taurus, is everything. Some truths don't arrive with thunder. They arrive through memory, the kind that doesn't come from this life but from another. Taurus, this month, your soul's memory is awakening. You might find yourself drawn to old places, to names that echo with familiarity despite having no known source, to skills or sensations that feel second nature without explanation. This is no coincidence. July is activating a karmic portal, and your soul is responding. The card of the High Priestess appears now, veiled, silent, but pulsing with depth. She is the guardian of secrets, the bridge between what is seen and what is felt, and her message is simple, yet profound. Remember. Remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Remember the vows you made, not with others, but with your own essence. Remember the gifts you buried to survive. This is the month they begin to resurface. You may start sensing things before they happen, picking up emotions in spaces, dreaming vividly, not randomly, but prophetically. You may feel an urge to study something mystical, to connect with your lineage, or to understand the language of signs. Do not dismiss these stirrings. They are not distractions, they are invitations. Because Taurus, you are not just healing, you are remembering your magic. The Ace of Pentacles follows, grounding the spiritual into the physical. This card confirms that your internal shifts are beginning to take form in your outer world. It could be an opportunity, a job, a project, a financial opening, but it won't be just work. It will feel aligned, affirming, almost eerily timed. And that's the point. Alignment replaces effort when you're living from truth. Watch for the new, not just what's exciting, but what resonates, what feels like it fits into your hands because it was meant for them. This is also a time to observe your body. As your energy shifts, your physical form will respond. You may crave more rest, different foods, solitude. Trust your vessel. It is recalibrating. The fatigue, the emotions, the heightened sensitivity. It's not regression, it's refinement. Taurus, you are anchoring new frequencies. Be gentle with yourself. The Lover's card emerges next, and with it, a wave of soul-level clarity. This is not just about romance, it's about choice, soul choices, path-defining decisions. Some of you may be faced with a deep inner knowing about a person in your life, someone with whom the connection feels ancient, significant, and strangely timed. It may not be logical, it may not be convenient, but it will feel undeniable. Others may find themselves at a crossroads, a decision that asks, will you choose safety or alignment. The Lovers is not just about union, it's about integration of the inner masculine and feminine, of logic and intuition, of what you want and what you need. Can you choose the path that may not be easy but is true? There may also be a reconnection on the horizon. A person from your past, perhaps even a past life, reappearing with unfinished business. This isn't about repeating old patterns, it's about resolution, and you'll know whether this door should reopen or finally be sealed. As you navigate this, the Six of Swords appears, the sacred migration. It represents a move, physical, emotional, or spiritual, from one chapter to the next. You're not just leaving something behind, you're moving toward a new frequency, and the waters may still ripple, but you are no longer afraid of crossing. Taurus, let me ask you something. Who are you when you stop hiding your power? What becomes possible when you stop delaying your truth? This month, you are stepping into a version of yourself that has always existed, but that the world, until now, wasn't ready to see. Now it is. And that includes your relationships. The Four of Wands arrives, a card of sacred unions, soul celebrations, aligned community. For many Taurus souls, July brings reconnection, not just with others, but with life itself. You'll crave connection that nourishes, conversations that matter, people who feel like home. Let this month be the moment you stop forcing your presence in places where your absence is not felt, because the spaces that are aligned with your truth are waiting, and they will recognize you immediately. You are becoming easier to love, not because you've changed who you are, but because you've stopped hiding who you are. Let that truth sink in, and with that truth, a new timeline begins. One not built on compromise, but on communion. One where your values are not burdens, they're blueprints, where your body is not just a vessel, it's a compass. And your soul? It is no longer whispering, it is roaring. It all leads to this. Every heartbreak you transmuted into wisdom. Every quiet morning where you chose peace over chaos. Every time you stayed when it hurt, and every time you left when it healed. Taurus, July is the echo of your becoming, not just whispered back to you, but sung through every corner of your life. The final card drawn is the world, not just a closing, a completion, the full circle, the sacred seal on a soul chapter written across timelines. The world doesn't promise comfort, it delivers fulfillment. This card says, you've arrived not at your destination, but at yourself. Can you feel it? The subtle, yet irreversible shift. You're not just moving forward, you're no longer looking backward. This month, your vibration rises so tangibly that the people, paths, and patterns that once felt magnetic now feel silent, not wrong, just over. And it's not because you've outgrown the world, it's because you've grown into yourself. You begin to notice the subtle signs of spiritual mastery blooming within. You respond less, observe more. You understand the difference between solitude and loneliness. You let go, not to lose, but to allow the right energy to find you without resistance. You are no longer seeking, you're attracting. The Nine of Cups confirms this shift. This is the wish fulfilled, not from effort, but from alignment. You'll feel this as small confirmations that carry the weight of miracles. A conversation that arrives at the perfect moment, an invitation that opens a long closed door, a yes where there used to be silence. But Taurus, this is just the beginning. Your worth is no longer negotiable. Your time is no longer disposable. Your energy is no longer a currency for approval. And because of that, your abundance, emotional, spiritual, and yes, material, will rise to meet you. This month, you step into creator frequency, not because you're perfect, because you're present. The King of Pentacles steps into your reading now, and with him, a steady, sovereign energy that mirrors your own. This is the integration of all that July has awakened. Stability rooted not in control, but in clarity. You're no longer chasing a dream. You are becoming the dream. Your presence becomes magnetic. Your values become visible. And your vision, the one you kept tucked away in the quiet corners of your heart, begins to manifest not in distant futures, but in everyday miracles. Watch how others begin to treat you differently. Watch how your own body responds to your truth. Watch how opportunities now feel less like luck and more like destiny meeting preparation. Because that's what this is. You are not lucky, you are aligned. And that alignment changes everything, even the way you grieve, even the way you hope. You understand now. Nothing was wasted, not the delays, not the detours, not even the heartbreaks. They were all threads in the tapestry of your rising. And now that tapestry stretches before you, vivid, grounded, magnificent. So, Taurus, what now? What do you do when the fear no longer runs the show? When your heart has become louder than your doubt? When the voice that once whispered, maybe, now declares absolutely? You step through. You write the new chapter, not in pencil but in permanence. You build, not just for safety but for joy. You love, not because you're afraid to be alone, but because you're overflowing. And you walk, not because you're escaping, but because you finally know where you're going. This is your arrival. This is your beginning. I honor what I've become, and I welcome what is mine by divine right. Let this be your signature in the energy of July. Let this be the vibration that calls every aligned blessing toward your doorstep. You're not just living your life now, Taurus. You're embodying your destiny. Now that you've received the message meant for you, don't let it just pass through. Anchor it. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss what your soul is asking to remember. And in the comments, write your truth. Speak your decree. Witness how the universe answers when you show up in your full light. You're not alone on this path. We are walking with you,